What's going on? Why, you numbskull, we gotta get moving, because Steve Rizzo's show is on soon. Yeah, and it's called Hey, I'm Talking Here. Who's talking here? Why, you idiot. Oh! Hey, come on, fellas. Quit fooling around. We got work to do, and the show's gonna be on soon. Hey, come on, fellas. Quit fooling around. We got to get going. Hello, everyone. Steve Rizzo here, and welcome to Hey, I Am Talking Here. We are rolling the good mood here on Hey, I'm Talking Here. We're going to have a really good show. My team is waiting in the back there somewhere. I'll bring them up in a little bit, but I'm very excited about today's topic, your authentic self. And what I'd like from you folks is to give comments on what you think your authentic self means and how it works in your life. And I would like also everyone here, please share this with your friends, your family, business associates, and even people that you don't like, especially people that you don't like, because maybe they need it more than other people because you don't like them. And then we have Ken Walls coming up right away saying, hey, you forgot the rest of it, Ken. Hey, I'm talking here. It means that I am really Steve Rizzo. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because Ken, I love you, but you're just not as funny as I am. That's all I have to say about that. But this show is brought to you by Conversations with Bob. There you go, right there. As so many of you know, it's a book that I wrote a while ago. It's getting wonderful reviews. And I would like you to share this book with your friends. Tell them all about it. And if you like it, and I know you will, just give a review on Amazon. And make sure it's a good one. Otherwise, mind your own business is what I'm saying. You can get it at yourinnerbob.com. Thank you, Bruce. You're way ahead of me. That's pretty cool. So please share this, folks. This is so important because we're trying to get the message out. This is a laugh and learn type of show. It's about empowerment. It's about taking you to a better place personally and professionally. And without any further ado, I want to introduce my entire team coming up right now. Bam. I don't mean Eric Bam. I mean Bam.
All four of us.
There you go. There's four of us. They're all here. It's a beautiful thing.
It was a stick up.
Yeah, it's a stick up.
Look out.
Yeah.
So Bruce is on his game tonight. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. So Bruce, how you doing today? You doing good?
I'm trying to think of how to say that in Bronx accent. Doing good, or
all right, go for
it. How's it? Was it? How you doing?
Oh, this started off fantastic.
How you doing?
I love it.
Okay, let's go to Debbie.
I'm doing great. I can't wait to talk about what our topic is, which is being authentic, staying true to yourself. Love it.
Yep. What about you, Bam? First of all, Bam, it's good to have you back after such a while, man. Really, we missed you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here.
Well, I don't even know what we're talking about, but I'm glad to be here. So I'm excited.
We'll fill you in along the way, Bam.
I'll just play along. This is awesome. I'm excited.
That's all I'm saying. Hey,
there's my boy Brian Weevil. What's up? Oi. That's Brian, by the way, got his first brand new customer today. He works for us now, and big order, and excited for him and proud of him. He's killing it. So.
And Lori Ficken just said hi. She said hello to you and me, Deb.
Hey, Laurie.
Yeah.
And Brian and Ken. I'll see you later, Ken.
I don't know why I wanted to say Lori Ficken linger good. Licking finger good. Licking finger
Lori finger licking good. Oh,
well,
this
sorry, Lori. It came to my mind immediately. I'm sorry. I've been drinking all afternoon. So
this started off
English with four names.
You don't want to mess with Lori because she'll get back at you big time. I'm just saying.
Well, this is Greg Connor is the assistant pastor of the church I go to, so I better chill out. I've not been drinking all day. I've been reading my Bible, and it's been a wonderful.
Yes, but you know what? Greg knows this show is about being your authentic self. Cat's out of the bag, dude.
Yeah, but Greg, you should listen to Eric before the show, okay? Pre-show.
He knows me very well. Trust me. There's no secrets between us.
He's currently praying for you, Eric.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yes, we all are.
Good.
Yeah, so let's start talking about today's topic, your authentic self. See, I believe your authentic self has many names. What are you shaking your head for?
I was reading what Greg Connor wrote.
Damn, you are not being authentic. There you go. Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
This is cool. This is wow. We're getting a lot of people following here already. This is cool. This is way
Eric.
cool. Eric Flannery.
Portnoy, what up, player?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what.
And Debbie.
Eric's a trooper.
Yep.
Dude, Debbie.
So actually, we're doing something special tonight. We're not only streaming to YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn on Steve Rizzo's channels. We're also streaming on Eric and Debbie's channel. We'd be streaming on my channel, but I'm hosting this, so I can't stream it as a guest.
I'm also streaming to my MySpace page as well.
That's hilarious. Listen, I'm actually only on Facebook and LinkedIn because it would only let me do 2 platforms. So it's not on my YouTube channel. Here we are.
Listen to what Jake Music just said. I'm on my 3rd vodka cranberry, so this seems normal to me. Love it.
So Jake worked for me in the past. Jake is awesome, and
awesome.
Jake could meet you one time, and he has the heart to serve. And man, just a tremendous person.
Serve vodkas.
Debbie, your sister's on. Your sister's here.
Is she? No, that one. That's my daughter.
That's your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, that's Victoria. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Tori.
Hey, Tori.
Eric says, I'm praying for you too, Eric. Hey, you know what? We all need a little prayer. Let's just be real.
So like these people keep jumping in. I message them. So there's Cindy. Cindy worked for me in Wichita, Kansas. And Cindy, from a sales standpoint, Cindy has just the biggest heart and then is so selfless. And you talk about somebody from a sales standpoint that's just incredible. She just pours into people, and I love her. Can't say that.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Now look what Ken Wells wrote. I haven't had a drink in 20 plus years, but this show is making me rethink that. I love it. Cheers to that.
Well, smoke a joint then, Ken. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But anyway, this is cool because we're talking about the comments here, and we usually do that later. But this is good to acknowledge these wonderful people. Look at this, Pat Lewis. Hi, Steve. Hi, Pat.
There's Jay. Love Jay. She's in Arkansas. Oh, she's rooting for some Woo Pig Suey tonight versus UConn in the tournament. So go Hogs. Go Hogs, Jay.
Way cool. Way cool. Look at Drew.
We'll come back to this.
So what are we talking about tonight?
I forgot now. Everyone interrupted me. I forgot what the hell I was saying. No, we're talking about your authentic self. And in my view, authentic self could mean many things. It could mean your higher self, your true self, the God part of you, whatever you want to give its name to. The point is, I just believe it's the part of you that has the answers to all of your questions and solutions to all of your problems. It's just that we get so caught up in the stuff of life sometimes we're not aware that we should take that time out to listen to that part of ourselves. Mm-hmm. Instead, we get caught up and we listen to the big mouth inside your head, which some people call the ego. Can
I read something from this that you wrote?
Yeah, you can in a second. Can I finish my sentence?
I can't let you finish. This is too good.
Okay, go ahead.
Bob said, achievement does not make the person. The goal is just a gift. It's how you've lived and what you've done to achieve the goal that brings value to it. You wrote that in this book, and it applies to tonight, and I love it.
I appreciate you saying that. Now, wouldn't you say that coincides with what your authentic self is all about?
That's exactly why I read it.
Yeah. Very good. I thought that was real cool.
A+.
So, all right. So continue, Eric. What do you think? What do you think your authentic self is then?
Just thinking about the subject this week, there's a quote from Oscar Wilde, and it's "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." Right. And we've talked about this on the show in the past. I think one of the biggest misses in life is that we get so consumed with what everyone else thinks about us that we never be who we can be and who we should be. And we hold ourselves back. And for me, I wrote down some stuff over here on this dry marker board, and I'm going to, right here. This is stuff I wrote down. This is for me. This is for me to be my authentic self, right? True north.
Go ahead.
I need to be thankful. If I'm thankful and I have gratitude, my life's really good. Second one, don't worry about what others think about you or your goals. Screw them. The third one, give. We've got to give with the right heart, and things come back to us. Never stop dreaming. That's been so much on my mind lately. I've had some coffee this afternoon. Keep learning. We've got to keep educating ourselves. We've got to enjoy the process every day. We've got to enjoy the process. Listen to your own thoughts. I think, Steve and I, we've talked about this in the past, that we get caught up in our own minds. And I think the last thing I wrote down was just focus on your own strengths. Know what you're good at. Know what you're not good at. I am amazed. I have an 11 and a 4-year-old. And I'm amazed at how, as parents, we expect our kids to always get straight A's in everything they do. But the reality is, I'm not really good at math as an adult. And so, I'm not really good at English as an adult. Or, there are things. So I'm really big on just double down on really what the hell you're really good at, because that's part of who you are. Double down on that stuff. Pay somebody else to figure out the rest of it for you.
Yeah. And for those, and it's so well said. And for those of you, that's exactly the point. He said, focus on your strengths, and that's your authentic self.
Yeah.
What comes into play too often is the ego, the big mouth inside your head, which is always reminding you how inadequate you are, and how it's going to be tough to get here, and it's going to be tough to get there. The authentic self is the dreamer, the imagination. And if you hold on to that imagination, it could come to fruition if you continue with that type of attitude. But you also have to be aware of that other part that's a part of all of us, the big mouth inside your head and the ego. And you have your authentic self, your higher self, the God part of you, but you have a choice on which one to listen to. And that's always everyone's choice. And I guarantee you, if you talk to anyone who you think is successful and happy, that person had led their lives listening to that authentic part of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of comments already over here. One from my buddy Jimmy Joe, which is, he says process over project. And I say that all the time. I'm all about the process, but there are a couple over here. Enjoy the process. And Brianna Harris says, how can we enjoy the process? It's probably a great thing to actually talk about in this subject, is how do you enjoy the process? And for me, honestly, a lot of times it's zero F's about what anybody thinks about what I'm doing. I enjoy doing me. I enjoy what I want. I enjoy chasing my goals. And if people don't like it, I posted a video yesterday on Facebook and talked about when you're trying to manifest things that you want in your life. People that are your friends right now are very comfortable with you being right here. Okay. But as you chase stuff that you want and you get to new levels, these people aren't going to like it.
No.
You may lose friends along the way.
Oh, not me. You will.
Right. You will. You'll find new people that motivate you. Brianna, to answer your question, how do you enjoy the process? You just do. You enjoy the small things. You enjoy the little things. You enjoy the victories along the way. I think sometimes we get so focused on, I want this, I have to have that. And we forget to just enjoy the sunrises and the sunsets and the little things. And we forget to just enjoy that stuff. And that's where the gold is in life.
Well, that is the goal. The journey towards your goal should be the goal. Every step along the way should be your goal. And if you really want to know how to enjoy yourself, when you wake up in the morning, because the attitude you have when you wake up is going to be the attitude that you take with you throughout the whole day. Yeah. So your job is to focus on what's working rather than fixating on what isn't working. And we all can do that. Just tell yourself you're going to have that good day. Listen to the birds outside, the dog lying by the side of your bed, whatever it is, it's going to give that feeling to you to want to get up and get through the day. And we have a choice on what to focus on. Deb, what do you think?
Well, I think it's great that BAM has had the attitude of, I don't care what other people think.
Yep.
Because that is really important to care more about yourself than pleasing other people. But I will say, and I don't know if I can lump all women into this category, because I think some of us have more of a difficult time than others. But I will say that for a lot of years, I probably cared a hair too much about what other people thought. Being a people pleaser isn't the easiest thing to let go of and learn your way out of it. But I will say that in order to be your authentic self, you have to care more about you and your joy and what you have to offer the world than what other people their reactions to you. Mm-hmm. So it's a journey, and it's a process in learning to love yourself enough to not care so much about what other people think. Finding who you are isn't always really easy for each person. So when we talk about this and we might seem like I seem very confident. I feel like I am, but to a certain degree, if I'm being honest with our listeners, I will say I doubt myself at times.
Mm-hmm.
And I, over the years, have learned to be stronger and more independent and more confident in myself. But it wasn't something that I just had. So for the listeners, when we're really strong arming this and going in for the punch about being authentic, take off your mask. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's a process of learning yourself, finding who you are, accepting yourself, loving yourself, and then the rest comes a little bit more easy,
But there are boundaries. I know we went to see this one play, and this one woman, it was like a week after St. Patrick's Day, and her hair was still green. And and she was at least 55, 60 years old. And so she had her hair green. And there's people who do, I guess, march their own drummer, and you always call them kind of a little bit off key, a little bit strange, but they're relatives, and you got to live with them.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a part of being your authentic self, is putting up with the stuff you don't want to put up with too.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if you are in your own comfort zone, you're going to do what's familiar, and I guess a lot of it is breaking out of your comfort zone as well.
True.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a key one, your comfort zone. And I think one of the lessons I learned is that, and it enhanced my career as a speaker, because the two tools and strategies that I had when I speak to people was my sense of humor and my ability to tell a really good story. But there's something else that came about, and it came about gradually, but now it's at the forefront. It's number one reason why I really connect with the audience. And that's when I started being vulnerable and not being afraid to tell people what I went through and what I'm still going through. Mm-hmm. That's my authentic self. Because by me doing that, especially in the position that I'm in, where I have the ability to be a spark that could ignite change in people's lives, when I'm on the stage in front of thousands of people and I'm telling them what I'm going through now, they're sitting there going, well, if he can go through this stuff, that means I can too, and I can still enjoy my life because I'm not the only one. And my point is that, yes, we're spiritual beings living in a human body. That's what I believe. But that human side of us sometimes is really difficult to deal with, and it does control our lives, and it can take hold of you on any given day. And if you could acknowledge that and admit that to people, man, that's a saving grace. That's an opportunity for you to show people that you're real. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to tell someone, hey, what I said to you the other day, or what you witnessed, that part of me, I apologize for that if I insulted you, but that's the mood I was in at that time. It's always good to go back to that authentic part of you to find out what's really important.
Hey, Bruce, will you post that question from Sean Tiemann? Because I think this is a perfect.
I thought to bring this one up first.
This is Corey.
To create an argument, a little bit of friction here between you and Victoria. I know what Eric thinks of the phrase "fake it till you make it."
I hate it.
Gaining confidence in myself gave me the room to grow into my authentic self, even when it was fake at times. Fake it till you make it, baby. But what I have told, listen, that's my daughter, and she is let's just say it. She's a ball buster. I'm doing it. I'm whatever. And I've always told her, though, and my son, it's really important for you to be who you are. When I talk about being your authentic self, I have always been who I am. It doesn't matter what group I'm in. If I'm on here with you guys, if I'm with my best friends, if I'm at work, I tone it back or amp it up sometimes, but I'm always who I am, good or bad, and however I'm perceived. But what I think is important is be who you are authentically. And the people who like you really like you.
Yep.
If you're not being you and you're being someone else and you're taking on traits of other people, then the people who like you aren't really liking you. And so with my kids, I would always say, don't try to be like her or don't try to be like him. Find out who you are and be the best you can be, because like what Eric Bam said, you know what? All the other roles are taken except your own. Be you.
Wow. That was so well said. Yes.
You know, so here we are. And I just say, I am who I am now, with the confidence and figuring out, finding me and what brings me joy. This has been a journey and a process that I'm continuously working on.
Exactly. And that journey will continue. That's just the way it is. But today, especially with younger people, and especially with social media and mass media and all the TV shows that are on, it's hard for people to be themselves because so many want to be somebody else.
Right.
And I don't even think they're consciously aware that they want to be someone else, but they're saying to themselves on some level, I want to be like that. I want to do that. I want to do that. You could see it by the way people dress. Well, people have always done that, I guess.
And it's fun to have people as inspiration. Just
sure,
like
it's always fun.
Anybody in the limelight, you're there, you see them and you're like, oh, I want to be funny like Steve, you know, but yet you find your own groove, you know, your own funny, your own style. You know?
Debbie, to your daughter, Bruce knew what he was doing when he posted that. I can't stand the term "fake it till you make it" because it sounds like to me it feels just negative. So be it until you see it. Be what you want. Act as if. Be what you want until you get there. Faking it just feels very not authentic.
Well, that word has so many negative connotations to it.
So be it till you see it is just something I've always kind of thought versus fake it till you make it. I don't feel good when people say that to me.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce, could you send Ken Walls the link? He wants to get in on the conversation.
Sure. And so Eric, you wanted to Sean's comment?
Yeah, I wanted you to post that comment from where's it at there? From Sean Tiemann. That question. There we go. Because I know this is something he's going through right now, which is a career change. And Steve, this is something I think that's just right up your alley for you to talk about.
Yeah.
I'll read it out loud. I don't know if any of you have experienced a career change in midlife, but how do you feel that can impact your authentic self?
It could affect it tremendously, probably more than anything else. The key is you got to follow your heart and follow the part of you that really wants to do something. It has nothing to do with how much money you're making. It has nothing to do with what your family might say. What is it that you want to do? And then do it. I had that choice to make years ago. In the middle of my comedy career. I'm going to make this very short, but I was very successful as a comedian. Things were really happening. But because at some point when I went on this quest to better myself, I got into this self-help thing and went to spiritual seminars and read all these books. Something started changing me. My authentic self, the God part of me, took control. And actually, I knew it took years, but I realized that I was being called to do something else. And comedy was just a stepping stone to get me to what I was really supposed to do. And it wasn't easy for me, my friend, to make that change.
Right.
To go from where I was to someplace that I knew absolutely nothing about. Nothing, but I knew I had to do this because I knew I had something within me that other people needed to hear.
That's really brave.
Well, I want to explain to what was the guy's name what was his name?
Sean Tiemann.
Sean, be prepared because fear will be your number one culprit and anger will follow fear. But
I wrote this down the other day. We've got to suspend all the disbelief that's in our mind. And that's what you dealt with. And that's what Sean's
And that's not easy to do, though. Eric.
No, hell no. It's easy for me to sit here and say it.
It's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, it's hard to do. Debbie mentioned it earlier, and I wrote it down here. Listen to your own thoughts, because your own thoughts can kill you or they can make you. And
find someone that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Find someone that you can talk to. When I made that decision years ago when I was married, my wife knew what I was going through, and I explained everything to her, and she just looked at me and sat me down, and she gave me a little slap on the friggin' head, which she often did, and said,
"Shocker."
Yeah, I know. She said, "You know what you need to do. Just do it." And she goes, "Don't you be concerned about the how. You got to keep asking yourself why you want to do it, and the how will come because of the why." And I looked at her and I went, "Holy shit, that is so right." but you have to find someone that you can bounce it off of. And if you're not married, find a friend. I talked to Debbie just a few days ago.
Yeah.
Debbie and I do a Zoom conference, and I suggest this to people. You
It's
really
so
want to know who you are,
Yeah.
and if you pick someone that you can talk to about anything that you want to for an hour a week on a Zoom. And Debbie and I have been doing this. And I exposed part of myself. No, I didn't expose that. I exposed
nice verbiage.
Exposure.
I exposed part of myself that, I would never reveal to anyone. But she listened, she got it. And as a result of talking to her about it, I called her the next day, halfway through the day, and this epiphany came through. And it came through all because I allowed myself to trust someone to expose what was inside of me. I let it out, and the answer came gradually. And a lot of serendipitous events took place that next day that you wouldn't believe. I don't even have time to tell you in this particular segment, but I told Debbie about it.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Follow your heart is what my point is.
Yeah,
my friend. Follow it, and it's not easy.
Well, Brianna said the how can kill a great idea, and I think you're right in a lot of respects. Hey, Ken, I think you're right in a lot of respects, but don't get so caught up in the how.
Yeah.
If it's right, if God puts it on your heart and your mind, the how happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. But
just go.
The how will follow the why. If you keep saying why you want to do it, it empowers you, because I can do this and I know I can do that. And all of a sudden, people come along in your life, opportunities come out of nowhere. And all of a sudden you start sitting there and you start laughing. And all this time I was worried about the how. And when I let that go, look what happened. I catapulted from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the how sometimes reveals itself. Let me introduce to you right now a very good friend of mine, Ken Walls. Ken Walls is he's a heavy
Dallas.
hitter.
I call him Dallas for short.
All right, Debbie, you take over.
Dallas, we have the Ken Walls. I am in Grow Live Academy. So is Steve. It's a great course to learn how to do stuff.
He's one of the best podcasters around, man.
And he has an amazing show that I was able to be on. That I was incredibly honored. So here he is in the flesh, digitally, virtually. What you got, Ken? Give us something.
I forget. It took me so long to get on here. I don't even remember what I wanted to say.
See,
Eric, Bam, how you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Good, sir. Steve had said great things just pop up out of nowhere, and then boom, there's Ken Walls.
Here he is, right on cue.
Oh no, I love this this topic actually, and Eric's gonna hate me for this, but we can fight about it. I think that, and I don't like the term "fake it till you make it" either. But I've had to apply that however you want to say it. I think every single one of us, even the guy that graduates medical school and just went through all the training on how to do brain surgery, his first
he doesn't think too much, but
I know. But imagine being that guy on your first solo trip, oh God,
I know.
I got to take care of this human brain in front of me now.
And all of a sudden he's going, it was a lot easier when I was faking it.
No, he's like, man, now what did they say? Carry the one.
Carry the one.
But I think that everybody has had to, Jennifer Gittimer, when it was the very first person that I interviewed on my show almost 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I called Jen and I'm like, well, first I had a conversation with my wife and I said, I'm going to start a show where I interview entrepreneurs and celebrities. And she goes, do you know any celebrities? And I'm like, I know Jeffrey Gittimer. And so I called Jen and I'm like, I want to have you and Jeffrey on the show and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, cool, yeah, I'll do it. I go, what about Jeffrey? And she's like, yeah, we'll get him scheduled too. I go, well, then you'll be my first guest. And so I had her on and literally had no intro video, had nothing. I barely knew what the heck I was doing. I just knew I wanted to start, a show. And so I literally had to, I don't know if it's fake it as much as just show up and do it, right?
Action.
Even though I didn't know what I was doing. So there was I guess there was a tinge of I had to fake it till I made it. And I just happened to look the other night because John Lee Dumas from Entrepreneurs on Fire, he was on my show. And he's like, dude, how many of these have you done? And I said, you're like number 320. And he goes, bro, that puts you in the top 1% of all podcasters in the world. And I'm like, no, no, stop. No, it doesn't. And he goes, look, people quit before they get to 50 episodes. Yep. Like you're doing it. Now I've done over 500. So the other night, just for the heck of it, I thought, I wonder where my podcast is ranked. So I went to Listen Notes, the #1 search engine for it. And they said, you're in the top 10% in the world. And I'm like,
you followed your authentic self, and you deserve it because you're probably the best interviewer. I've been on many radio shows and podcasts. When I was on your show the very first time, Grow Live, and then I did the Academy. You're just a natural at interviewing people and getting them to reveal certain parts of themselves,
and just being comfortable.
And being comfortable.
Yeah. And it's you know what I do? I mean, because my wife has walked into my office many times and said, you just had somebody else say they've never talked about that before. Because I have people say that all the time. Yeah. All I do is this.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Tell me more. I just listen and that's it. Too many people are interested in being heard instead of listening that are doing podcasts. But anyway, nonetheless, I love this topic. Thank you for allowing me to pop on with you guys.
It is good. And it's so funny because you're right. Like the way you say, like, let's go back to fake it till you make it. To me, it does seem crass also. And I always say to Tori, I'm like, you don't fake really but it is the same thing as what Bam is saying. It's just a different delivery. Yeah. So whatever works for an individual to make them drive through their insecurities or their confidence to get where they need to go. If that term works for you, fine.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd rather
say a beautiful way of saying
I'd rather say tap into your imaginary self, and
that doesn't rhyme, Steve. Yeah. That doesn't rhyme.
Yeah. Come on, Steve.
Get with the rhyming program.
This isn't a rhyme here, geez, help me, Lord. You know what? I'm talking here. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. That's the way of getting them all to shut the hell up. I'm talking here.
Yes. That was right on cue, Bruce.
That was perfect. Wow.
You're right. But you're right. It doesn't rhyme. You know, I love, it's amazing the love here because you guys are always putting me in my place. And by the way, it's the last time the three of you are going to be on my show. So
yay!
Just thought I'd let you know.
Yay! Pam says yeah.
And you know what? I'm sorry. That's not my show. This is our show, and I know you guys know that. I wouldn't do it without you guys. I love what you guys put into it, and this show's getting better and better every time. And you know what, Ken? Can you put us back with all of us, please, Bruce? So I know I'm talking to. I learned so much from you, Ken. I really did. I mean, because you're just a wizard. What you do.
Yeah.
You know, are you doing your academy after this?
I am.
No, sorry, I can't be on it. But anyway,
that's bullshit.
I'll be there.
I'll be there too.
I'm not letting him in now. Gabby, thank you. I look forward to seeing you.
I'm the favorite.
I like your hair better.
Debbie. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. I like her hair better than mine too, actually. I'll be honest with you.
Hey, yours is more shining, Steve.
I know. All right. Jeez. Anything you want to say, Eric, for crying out loud?
Well, I was going to ask you a question, Steve.
Me?
Steve, what deodorant do you wear?
He does this all the time. In the middle of a show, he'll come up.
That's a great question. I've been wondering that
myself. I use Menin's roll-on.
Wow, that's like from the 70s, bro.
It's really cool.
At least you didn't say it was spice.
What? You put that on and go, bye, Menin. Is that what you do? Every time?
He's just being his authentic self.
No. I pretend that the deodorant is talking to me. Yeah.
Did you wear that at Woodstock?
Yeah. How do you know I went to Woodstock? Oh, I told you. Yeah.
I was
you know what? Everybody else smelled so bad it didn't even.
There are people watching right now that have no idea what Woodstock is.
I think to get back there, I see Kim Hubbs is on here too. To pull this maybe back a little bit on track.
Oh wow, he's watching the show from Bangladesh. Thank you.
Isn't that cool? Friend
very much.
One of the things I think that we suffer with is we have an identity crisis because we don't know. That's probably a lot why we don't know what our true north is or what our authentic self is. We have an identity crisis. We don't know what we are. We don't know what we want to be. As adults, we stop dreaming. We stop asking for things we want. We stop praying for things we want. We stop listening to things that come to us that we should go attack and go get and go do. And so we have an identity crisis. We don't know what the heck we are because we can't even imagine it.
And I think that's such a good point. But I think to take that to another level is because if you want to go for what you want to be, we have a stigma, especially in this country, that says you have to be the best. Everything is the best. You have the best actor, best actress. You have the best picture, best director. You have in all these people, because one group of people voted them as the best, that means the other ones aren't as good as what this person did. And that's the mindset that we've created in this country. If you look at the Olympics, somebody could win the 100-meter dash by a fraction of a second. And like, can you put your hand down till I'm finished there, huh? A fraction of a second. Wait, the winner wins by a fraction of a second. He gets put on the Wheatie box. The guy that loses probably would have won if he had a pimple on his nose. That's how close he was to going over the finish line, but he's not recognized. So everyone's afraid of that success because they have to be incredibly fantastic at it. And that's bullshit.
And then later, the guy on the Wheaties box becomes a woman.
Oh. There you have it. Caitlin and
and not only is he the best, she's the best.
Yeah.
What is a stigma?
Stigma.
Oh, I thought you said
Did I say stigma? You making fun of my Brooklyn accent? I'll hit you so hard your family will die. All right. I'll kick you so far up your ass your breath will smell like shoe polish. All right.
I want to jump in for a second.
With so many rights, you'll be begging me for a left. Do you hear me?
That's awesome. Bruce is like, I can't get a word in edgewise.
With the award shows, they stopped saying the winner is. They now saying like the Oscar goes to.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, but it's still the best.
Did they really?
That's more politically correct. Oh well, you know what? I want to say something. I want to talk here. I think that we have to also remember that there are people who are afraid to go for it because they think they have to be the best, and that may be holding them back. So that's such a good point that you guys brought up. But I want to bring this idea to it, which is a lot of times there's a board voting for like what the best picture is, who the winner of this is. And it's a select amount of people. So we always know there's always a debate of who actually won versus who other people think should have won. So what we have to remember is our best may be someone's favorite. It might not win every time, but for a select group and for people who really look up to you and value you, you're giving your best, which they appreciate. So we have to remember to be our authentic self, be the best we can be. And there you have it.
That's exactly it. Because that's what I told my son and I tell my grandchildren. It's not important to be considered the best. The important thing is to be the best that you can be. And only you know that. And by some reason, if by you doing that, you're considered the best in your chosen field, that's good. But if you're not, that's good too.
Yeah, just at least you're doing it.
That you can be.
Yep, I love that.
Alan, that's so funny.
So that looks like Debbie has the best hair in the group.
Oh, I'm so glad I won that contest. See, I got the best hair. And the Oscar goes to
Debbie's hair.
Debbie's hair.
It's just a certificate now.
Okay, shoot. I want the.
And it says you placed. That's it. Doesn't say which place.
Yeah.
I like Greg Connor's comment over here. I always tell my kids that they need to be themselves and that we need to be the best best me that I can be.
That I can burr.
He puts B or he added B down here.
I'm just
we do. When you tell
I want to be the best that I can burr.
That sounds like me.
If I can't be the best that I can burr, then I don't know what good I'm going to be.
But he's probably drinking. He's drinking. Communion. Little communion.
That's too funny. Well, you know what? We have done a good job on this title, I thought. And you know what? Why don't we, Debbie? Why don't you read a little excerpt from a conversation with Bob?
And you know what's so funny? I knew what he meant by that before he said it. Why don't you? I know. Okay, so
well, you know me well enough.
I love this book. I love that. I just love it, and the cover's beautiful. And when you take this off, it is a beautiful hardback, gold metallic. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. And I want to read self-curse talk on 15. So this is a quote from Bob. If you don't know who Bob is by the book, you'll figure it out. If there is anything that keeps people from being productive and happy and partaking in the abundance that life has to offer, it's self-curse talk.
Yep.
Bob.
Yep.
The one and only Bob.
Yep.
And so I thought that really aligned well with being your authentic self.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
If you're talking negatively to yourself all the time, you don't even like yourself, or you might not even know who you are.
No.
You'll find it out. Figure it out.
That's why Bob calls it self-curse talk. Most people call it negative self-talk. I call it self-curse talk, and so does Bob, because Bob told me to say that, because you're really casting a spell on your life. Those are the ones that are trying to follow their authentic self. They're trying to achieve their goal, and they're doing well. And all of a sudden, maybe after a couple of weeks, they hit a snag in the road. They hit a detour. There's a major challenge. Then all of a sudden, that positive attitude that they had, that optimistic way about them, starts diminishing, and they go on this negative rampage. I knew this was going to happen. Every time I try to do something, it never works. I always go 2 steps up and 5 steps back. Why can't I ever get what I want? Why is it that everybody else has what I want? I should have played it safe, and I never should have invested all this money in this. That's self-curse talk. That's diminishing your authentic self, and it's putting you back way at the beginning again, and you have to start all over to get to where you were before.
Well, you should really be telling us your self-curse talk in your own New York accent in your head, how you sound when you talk.
Yeah, well, it'll be a lot of curses.
That's what I knew.
Yeah, I know. What the
Is this
fuck? I went 2 steps, fuck, come back. Everybody else has what the fuck? What the fuck? I can't fucking do this. Hey, you know what? This is starting to piss. I'm going to start fucking killing people. That's what I'm going to do now.
Wow.
All right. So now we've crossed the line of just.
Yeah. Now that Facebook's going to shut you down.
I know.
Also, we're streaming across 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 platforms now.
Yeah. It's like, okay,
yeah, I shared it.
People.
They only let you share it to 2.
That's right.
Yeah.
As a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can also like it and just like the show or comment on the show, and it shows up in your feed.
What do we do if we don't like the show?
You still click the up arrow.
Share it out.
Yeah. So
They're like, Facebook, I don't know.
On Facebook, they've got likes and they got dislikes, but only the likes show up. Talking about politically correct.
Greg Connor says drunk on life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Depends on what you're drinking.
Yeah.
We can only hope our children do the best they can, whether or not it's what we hope for.
Well, that's true.
Yep.
That's so true.
Yep. I always tell my kids, my grandkids, just follow your heart, what you want to do. As a matter of fact, I'm going over and spending the weekend with my grandson because he's got a part of playing the lion on The Wizard of Oz. So
okay, you've got to tell. Is it Brianna or Brianna?
Brianna.
That's beautiful either way. Brianna. Okay.
Actually, probably her husband Josh is probably who it is. So.
Oh, Josh. Okay. So hey, Steve, tell him like a real New Yorker how he needs to correct his self-talk.
This is what you got to do to correct your self-talk. Number 1, you got to figure out what you're saying to yourself. If it's taking you in the wrong place, if you're getting angry, if you're pissed off, if you're taking it out on your family, friends, and fellow associates at work, you're on the wrong track. So when you become aware of what you're saying to yourself, like I'm a loser, I can't do nothing, everybody got what I got, and when I want, nobody gives me nothing, that's not going to take you anywhere. So what you got to do then is you got You got to become aware. And in that moment of awareness, the negative self-talk stops because your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. Right now, you're in an area where you could allow yourself to shift your way of thinking to what's working in your life, to where it is that you want to go. And at times you just might want to say, I got to let this go for now and come back to it later on. But the more you continue with that self-curse talk, the worse it will get. That's why it's called self-curse talk. You're really casting a spell in your life. Most
it's
people
also
can't
a matter
stop it.
of being positive, because the saying goes, whether you think you can or you can't, you're going to be right.
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 And so it's basically self-awareness.
For me with that, Bruce, I think it's about being intentional with your energy. And when
Yes.
you know your energy, Brianna's going in, or Josh is going into a bad place. We all know when it happens. I think it's just to pull back. And I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day about when I go for an afternoon walk if you can, or like as stupid as it sounds, get on your phone and Google search great quotes and watch your mindset change. It's about changing your energy. I know we're almost done. I just want to say one more thing that I wrote down this week, and it's this. If you want love in your life, give love, and you watch all the love that will come back to you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
And love
You give, right, Bam? You get what you give. Oh.
And love is the foundation. That's where your authentic self lives.
Yeah.
I think that was 3 different Beatles songs you just quoted.
Well, you need a book.
But he's right. That goes for anything, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you want more of in your life, you've got to give that. Like I so many people don't understand. And I've shared this. I think I've shared this. I know I've shared it with Steve. Many, many years ago, this pastor of our church, when I lived in Atlanta, he said, hey, instead of passing around the offering plate and receiving from you all today, this was a huge televised 3,000, 3,500 person congregation. He said, the ushers are going to come around with buckets and you pull an envelope out, and each and every one of you don't open it until I tell you to, but take one envelope. And when he said, open it, we opened it up, and it's really tattered now, but it's Malachi 3, bring the whole tithe and offering into my storehouse. If you know it, you know it. But it had a brand new $1 bill stapled to the back of it at the time. It's no longer brand new. And I carried this in my wallet for many, many, many years until I'm like, okay, it's going to crumble and fall apart. But it was to remind me. And there were times during my alcoholism years, which I've been sober now for 20 years, but there were times when I didn't have a dime, and I was like, I got that $1 in my wallet. I could buy a candy bar, but I didn't spend it because it was like, okay, this is a reminder that I need to give. And there were times when I literally gave my last $10 to somebody, not knowing where my next $10 was going to come from. But I knew that, and it wasn't a manipulation thing for me. It was, if I just give whatever I have, it'll come back to me. And man, it's so true. And it's just like Eric said about love. If you want more love, give more love. You want more money, give more money. You want more, whatever it is, you got to give more of that and it'll come to you. I agree with that 1,000%.
What do you get when you spend more money?
You get a lot of bills.
Credit card bill.
You definitely get something back.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This was what do you get when you
a barking dog in the middle of a live stream? That's what you get.
You get your family members throwing paper in front of you saying, "Did you buy this?"
Yeah. Hey guys, listen, thank you for letting me come on. Love you all. Appreciate you. I got to run. I got to get ready for the other thing.
Send me the link to your show.
Yeah,
already did, but
me too.
I will.
Don't let me come over there.
I did already, but I'll send it again.
Okay. How am I supposed to know? I'm on here right now. I'll see you later. I love you.
Love you guys. See you.
See you later, man.
Weekend.
So let's end the show with this, folks. Sometimes there's a big price to pay to get in tune with your authentic self and live your authentic life, but the price is worth it. It's definitely worth it. And sometimes doing the right thing can be the most painful thing that you can possibly do. And there are chances that you're going to lose friends, maybe even some family members. It depends on the situation. But if you're following your heart and you know you're doing the right thing and you have to do it one step at a time. Just get to where you want to go.
Beautifully said.
Bam, bam.
You're welcome, Laurie Ficken and Ted Legal. Love you
Theodore
all. Love
Vivian
you too, Ted.
Legal is in the house.
Yeah, we all, you know what? We all do need to say every single person that came through. And I think a lot of them, Bam, are your friends and coworkers and whatever. And to every single person that tuned in tonight and made comments, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. It means a lot. It really does. Tell them, Rizzo, somebody said.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Jeff Thacker.
Ted,
Jeff, how you doing, man?
Joey.
Jeff Thacker.
That's
Thacker.
awesome.
Next level speakers.
All you need is love.
All you need is love. Love is all you need. And
we should end the show. It's all together now. Here we go. Ready? Oh yeah.
I'm still waiting for the outro.
Yeah. But anyway, folks, tune in next time. I think it's the 30th of March. We will be on. Bam will be back. Debbie will be here. Bruce will be here. And I don't know. We may have a special guest. We don't know. Maybe we'll have Ken come on the show next time. What do you think? That might be pretty cool. Ken Wells is pretty heavy in this business, folks. Hey, don't turn the show off when I'm talking.
Hey, I'm talking here.
All right.
Quick reminder, we're available on any podcast platform that you currently listen to. And these are, if you love these shows, you're going to love the podcast even more because you don't have to actually watch us.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. You really don't have to.
No, I want an apple.
Yeah, me too. And I don't even have one.
That looks so good. I actually have apples. I'm going to go get one.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Very delicious.
All right.
All right. Cue us out of here.
Cue us out of here. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.